Welcome to Subramani. One question which I'm sure many of us get asked, and I have also been asked many times, is it a good time to be selling in the market and waiting for the market to fall and then buy? Actually, it's very funny because even if I were to say that yes, you should do that, people will not do that till they find another consultant or another expert who says, no, this is the beginning of another long bull run, so don't sell. That is what they want to hear. Be that as it may, suppose I were to tell you that yes, it's a good time to be selling and waiting for the market to fall and you can buy it later on. At what stage will you start buying? Let us suppose the market today is at say 60,000 units, the Sensex, or 62,000. And the market, you sell everything that you have. You don't have the index, you obviously have individual stocks. Maybe you have Sun Pharma, you have Maruti, you have Tata Motors, you have HDFC Bank, HDFC, or you have plethora of companies which are B and C group companies. You have large cap, mid cap, small cap, everything. So you sell and you're sitting on cash. Let us say you have 1 crore of cash now, and you are waiting for the market to correct, and you are very confident about your theory. So the market actually falls. It falls to 58,000, and you are now going all over town, social media, and saying, look, I said market will go down. So the market has gone down to 58,000. So people ask you, what do you think it will happen? And you are now confident that it will go down even further, and the market actually goes down to 53,000. Now you are over the moon, you're great, you're excited. Then you say, now it just can't go up. The fluff is gone out of the market. All the Zomatos and all have found their new values, which are nowhere near their issue price, and Paytm is not to be seen anywhere near the issue price. So you are right and you are great, and the market now comes down to 49,000. You are now right. You have got the timing right and you're superb. Nothing seems to improve. But suddenly one day there is a news item that the Modi government has sold off Air India successfully, BHEL, Coal India, they have divested a lot. Even in SBI they've given up a lot of stake, and suddenly all these shares are on their way up. You look at this news item but you ignore it, saying, oh, PSUs cannot add value. And the market has not really gone up much, but sporadically some share goes up. Sun Pharma announces some new increasing sales in the US, and so that has gone up from your selling price of 800 to about 1020 or things like that. And you say, this is... The media helps you by saying, oh, this is a dead cat bounce, market cannot go up, the fundamentals are not strong. After all, whatever Modi said is over, and now 2024 is nearby. We are already in 2023, and therefore there will be nothing positive coming from the government. They will be playing for the election, so etc, 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 and therefore the market cannot go up. But however, some of the shares which you have sold have gone up. Right, and then suddenly one day you find that the market is no longer at 48,000, it's at 51,000. Oh, dead cat bounce, you just write it off. Then suddenly India is included in the world debt index, and a lot of money comes into India, maybe $10 billion, $15 billion comes, and interest rates go down further. It had gone up to say 7%, and the gilt, it comes back to 6%. And the market is a little buoyant, some FII money comes in, and the market goes to 54,000. You are now grinding your teeth, you are not very sure what has happened, and you are sitting on cash. Remember, there is always the fact that you will love the asset that you own. What you own now is a lot of cash, 1 crore of cash which you had bought, which is earning you a magnificent 2% per annum. And you're paying tax on that 2%. So you don't know now what to do. But the market has gone to 54,000. Then you meet your friends and they all tell you, no, this is a dead cat bounce. ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. It has to come down. तो ये आप अभी चिंता मत करो. And the market goes to 59,000 very quickly. You don't even realize what happened. And some of the shares which you had sold Sun Pharma at 800, it is now at 1450. People tell you it's at a new high and it's a beginning. You now wonder that should you buy it or should you look for some other share which has not gone up so much, and you are wondering, and the market just crosses 63,000. Now what has happened is, market, you got a part of the prediction right. You were sure that the market is overvalued at 62,000, so you sold. You were right. The market came down to 48,000. Again, you were right. Unfortunately, you did not sell the index. You sold your own shares. So your pharma turned around and pharma was suddenly going up. You sold, but yes, you were right. You were right in metals, you were right in oil, but you were wrong in pharma. You were wrong in BFSI because BFSI had already gone down by the time you sold. So what happens is, when you do market timing, you have to get many things right. Let me just explain. You have to get the market timing right, means you have to know which share to sell, not sell the index, because none of us are nifty players. We are investors. We buy shares. We don't buy the index. We buy Infosys, we buy Reliance, we buy SBI, we buy HDFC, we buy Supreme Industries, EID Parry, Coromandel. We buy individual stocks. What I'm telling you is part of my portfolio, so don't get excited that I'm not giving you any tip. It is just A group shares and B group shares which I have. So I have to get it right as to which share to sell. I have to get it right as to when I should buy it back. And again, greed works. See, when you buy a share at 800 rupees and it goes to 1200 rupees, you think maybe you should sell it. You don't sell it, then it comes to 800 rupees. Then you justify saying, anyway, I'm a long-term investor, so it doesn't matter. But you were at 1200, you were waiting for greed. You were not waiting for logic. So your greed prevented you from selling at 1200. Similarly, when you sell the share at 800, you expect that share to come down maybe to 550, 600, whatever price at which you are willing to buy back. At that price, you get greedy. You say, oh, it's come to 600. I think it can come to 390 also, because that is the price it had in March 2020. Not right, because the March 2020 pandemic prices were once in a lifetime kind of an opportunity. You're not going to get those prices, or maybe you will, but you may not have the patience to sit on cash for such a long period of time. You are really not Warren Buffett that you will sit on 149 billion of cash and not know what to do. We are itchy, so when we have cash, we will want to invest. So you have to get that right as to from this price how much it will fall, not the index. Index is irrelevant for you because you are not invested in the index. You have a large portfolio, a large or small portfolio, but a portfolio of large cap, mid cap and small cap. You are not in the Nifty, you are not in the Sensex. So you then come down, the share price comes down. You have to at some price give up on your greed and give up on your asset. See, what has happened is your mind, which loved Sun Pharma, now loves cash. It does not want to part with cash. It says, oh, Sun Pharma has come down from 800 to 650. Now let me not buy. Let me wait for the price to reach 400. Now the truth is, when you sold at 800, many other shares came down. Therefore, the index came down. But Sun Pharma actually went up from 800 to 922. Now you don't know whether you are happy about the call that you got on the market. Yes, the markets went down, but the share which you bought, or rather the share which you sold, actually went up. So you are actually losing money in Sun Pharma much before the index has reached 48,000. Yes, the index has fallen, but it has nothing to do with a single share which you have sold. You have not sold the Nifty, you have sold you sold Sun Pharma. So then you have to get it right. Then you have to know at what stage to re-enter, because you sold at 800, it came to 650, you bought it back, then it went down to 600. Now do you feel miserable about the 50 rupees that you could have waited for, or the 150 rupees that you made? These are difficult calls to take. Now suppose you have 5,000 Sun Pharma and you did this trade in only 500. Are you happy about the 150 rupees that you're making on the 500 shares, or are you sad about the 150 which you have missed on the remaining shares which you did not sell, right? You have to handle all these conflicts. It's easy for a journalist to write, oh, the market has come down, market has gone up, but that is completely useless for you. As far as you are concerned, you have to do what is right for you and whether you are making money. Remember, bloggers and journalists don't have to worry about MTM. There's no mark to market. Nobody will come back, read this blog or see this video and tell me that, look, you were wrong. That's fine. I have a right to be wrong. I have a right to change my mind. I have a right to do completely contrarian to what I am talking here. I have a right to do all that. But when I look at my portfolio, my portfolio is mark to market. My videos are not mark to market. So remember that. So having got it right that the market will go down, I sold Sun Pharma, I did not. So Sun Pharma has actually gone up, so I'm losing money. So similarly, you have to see individually how your stocks are doing. So you go short on a share. Let's say you sold Vedanta at 370, then you watched it come down to 330, but before you could buy, it went up to 345 or 350, and you say, what, 20 bucks is not worth waiting for, so I will wait. So it comes down to 330. Again, now you're saying, oh no, 300 is a good price to buy Vedanta. Metal cycle may be over, but now it suddenly goes to 400. So you completely miss the so-called fall and rise, because it's very difficult mentally to understand that you are dealing in individual stocks and not in indices. Indices, it is easy to buy and sell. You say, oh, it will go down, it goes down, then you think it will correct, so you buy back, you do all those things. In an individual share, that is difficult. And if you hold 30, 40, 50 shares and you've sold all of them waiting for the market to go down, you may be right in 20, you may be wrong in 30, or even worse, you may be right in 40, you may be wrong in 10, but that 10 may have gone up so much to offset all the so-called technical gains in the 40 shares which have actually gone down. Now the question is, will you buy back the same shares which you sold, or will you create a new portfolio? Will you create a different portfolio? Will your sizing be different? Will your composition be different? Will you have more BFSI and less pharma, or will you have more pharma and less BFSI? When you are managing your portfolio, you have to get all these things right. Remember, journalists, bloggers don't have MTM. Your babus don't have MTM, whereas politicians and investors. So my portfolio looks at me and scoffs at me, saying, oh, you think you got the market timing right, here it is, and it deals a death blow to you, right? So I have got the market right on many occasions, I've got the market wrong on many occasions, and actually doesn't matter. In my portfolio, it doesn't matter whether I still hold a Sundaram Clayton or whether I still hold a Sun Pharma, when I buy, when I sell, Colgate. Doesn't really matter. It's a long-term portfolio in which I also do some short-term delivery-based trading. So I may buy more of Sundaram Fasteners thinking that the result, or Sundaram Clayton thinking that the result is good. Then when the results are really good, I may sell it off. But it still doesn't have to do anything with my core portfolio. My core portfolio will be equity. It will always be equity, and my household expenses will be met by dividends. So that core portfolio aside, apart from that, in my portfolio also, I realize that if I have delivery, I can sell the share. Then when it comes down, I can buy it back. I buy it back at 100 rupees or 150 rupees or 200 rupees. Doesn't really matter how much is the gap. I'm happy with the money that I make. The share price can fall further down. It doesn't matter. In the core portfolio, I buy it just for the dividend that I'm getting. Over a long period of time, I've got good dividends, and I think these are good companies which will do well. Yes, I may enter the cycle, exit the cycle. I may be buying auto now. I may be buying financial services, but you have to remember that I cannot give you advice on all that simply because I have a right to change my mind. And I can do completely contrary to what I'm saying. I can say I'm buying banks, and next day morning find that I've changed my mind. By the time you see this video, I may have moved to a different portfolio. By the time I have done that and I've recorded that, like I've said, this is a good buy, and after 3 months I say this is a good sell. You may be watching the sell video, you may not have watched the buy video. So which means you may be thinking that I'm going short. That is the reason why I don't talk about my portfolio. Thank you. Remember that in this market, trying to time the market can be very expensive, but it can also be very profitable. So you choose whether you can, whether you should, whether you are an investor, whether you are a trader. Don't make that don't let media tell you what to do. Don't look at videos like mine and put in the comments, what do you suggest now? You seem to be very confused. I don't seem to be very confused. I know clearly what I am doing. You have to find what you are doing. Thank you.